Hello, and welcome back to the Backed by Bone podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chris, aka Don Burgundy on the internet. What is good? What is going on? Episode 50 here. It is 10/23 of 2023, almost Halloween. What is going on? First, I wanted to talk about the UFC 294 card. But also, first, I just wanted to mention really quickly that I was in Salem, Mass this past weekend. Had a great time. It's actually my first time ever going there, which is weird for being a New England resident for the majority of my life. I just never got a chance to go. Never really I don't know, just never went. But I had a good time. The downtown area was obviously weird and annoying and busy, but me and my brother ended up finding a nice little park area where it was a little bit more like a craft fair vibe, and it had a lot of small businesses and stuff like that. So I ended up enjoying that, getting some cool stuff. I got a candle in the shape of a skull that I'm holding right now, and it smells really good. I got a bath bomb that's a pumpkin shape, and then I also got a eucalyptus and spearmint soap, like handcrafted soap with shea butter and colon clay, Kaolin, by Dragonfly Candle and Soap Company. Um, so they're pretty cool. I got their business card here too. Melissa Chiquette is the owner, I guess. Shout out to her and small business. But yeah, UFC 294. So I want to talk about. I didn't really watch the prelim or the early prelim. I watched a little bit of the prelims from the while I was driving. I think the one that I came in on was the Victor Henry Yabid Basharat fight. I think ended in a no draw or draw no contest because the dude got hit in the balls. Any other? Let's take a look at the early prelims. Nothing I care about. Uh, Shara Magomedov ended up winning, and he's one of Habib's guys. I did watch the Muhammad Yahya fight and Trevor Peek. That fight was pretty good. Trevor Peek ended up winning by decision. Tim Elliott and Muhammad Mokaev fight. That one was pretty good. Muhammad Mokaev ended up winning in the third round via submission. And then obviously on the main card, I watched all of the main card. So Saeed Nurmagomedov ended up winning via decision in the first round against Muin Gufarov. Muin Gufarov? I don't know. So I mean, it's obviously he's just all these guys are Habib's guys and are just gonna shit on people. And then Ikram Aliskerov ended up beating Warley Alvarez in the first round via KO or TKO. Pretty standard here. I mean, all this stuff I figured, if you guys watched my episode from last week, is pretty obvious. And then in the Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker fight, kind of dumb. Ended a draw no contest. Luckily, Johnny Walker didn't lose, but Magomed ended up like kind of dropping him a little bit, and then he could hitting him with an illegal strike, which was like I think it was like a knee to the head to the face when he was a downed opponent. So I guess he couldn't do that. But ended up being a draw no contest. A little bit controversial there. Kind of a dumbass call, but it is what it is. And then I saw obviously the co-main, which I thought was gonna be a much more of a banger fight, but it's actually really close and really entertaining if you're a purist. It was the Kamaru Usman versus Hamzat Chimaev fight. Hamzat ended up winning via decision, went a full 3 rounds, which I did not expect to happen whatsoever. But I mean, Hamzat Chimaev is fighting a tip of the spear guy in Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman is going up weight class, so a really tough fight. Really, he was got a lot of strength behind him as well. So it is what it is. I would love to see them run that fight back again, but Hamzat, you know, clear decision winner there. He had 107 strikes to Kamaru Usman's 58, and he had 38 significant strikes to Usman's 36. So obviously he just kind of had more, more work. He had 4 takedowns to Kamaru Usman's 0, and he had 1 submission attempt to Kamaru Usman's 0. So obviously it was a unanimous decision there, but they both looked a little sluggish. I don't know. It just wasn't the fight that I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be much more explosive and out of control. But I mean, sometimes this kind of happens with tip of the spear guys. Like you're fighting the best of the best. Sometimes you can't just go in there and fucking absolutely dumpster them. I'm not really sure if there was something going on with what's his face with Hamza during that fight, or like something beforehand or whatever. I know he said something during the post-fight interview that I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it or not, but I'm not really sure. Um, but I'm excited. I mean, Hamza obviously I figured he was gonna win, but um, I was kind of shocked in the results of the co-main and the main event, because for the main event was the Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski fight, and I thought Alexander. I mean, I get it was on short notice, but I just thought he was gonna win. But he ended up losing, which isn't a shocking result, but the way he lost it was a little bit shocking, because he ended up losing via KO in the first round, close to the end, so about like 3 minutes in the first round, via a head kick from um, Islam Makhachev, and then he just kind of smothered him and got all over him, and then ended the fight. So I guess they're probably not gonna run the Volkanovski fight back, which kind of sucks, because I would love to see him fight um, Islam again on a full camp, but it is what it is, I guess. What are you gonna do? But yeah, it just kind of sucks. The fight was really good though. It ended a lot faster than I thought it was going to, and it just kind of ended super abruptly. But I think with the trajectory that both these fighters are on, they will probably meet each other again, but it probably won't be for a while, unfortunately. But really good fight. It's kind of like not the result you expected or hoped for. You kind of hoped for like a really big like war banger, but um, exciting nonetheless. I mean, if you think it was like kind of like a disappointing result, then I don't know. I think that's kind of lame of you, but everyone has their own opinion, but is what it is. And then next card is going to be the fight night in Brazil with the Almeida versus Derek Lewis. That's basically the only fight on the card that I actually care about. Everything else I could give a shit. And then obviously next big card 295, which is November 11th, and the main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, which sucks, but this card is an absolute fucking banger, and is pairing up to be an absolute banger. So we'll keep an eye on this, but that's basically the only thing I'm going to talk about until next time, because you got two really big co-main, or two big co-main and main event fights, but um, with a lot of implications on the line for both of these fights. But yeah, that's about it for the UFC. I wanted to talk quickly about NCAA football before I get into the NFL, because it's going to be the majority of it. So I did watch a little bit of that Florida State Duke game. That game wasn't too bad. Florida State ended up beating Duke 38-20. It was a pretty good game, but Duke was kind of yeah, Duke was up at the half by 30, but then fourth quarter, Florida State kind of just beat the brakes off them. Damn, LSU beat Army 62-0. Jeez. Michigan beat Michigan State 49-0. Oh my goodness. Any other good games? There was another game on here that was really. Oh, the Alabama Tennessee game was the game I was watching. Alabama ended up beating Tennessee 34-20. It was a good game. Ohio State ended up beating Penn State 20-20 or 20-12. I didn't really watch that game. I just saw a couple seconds of it, but pretty close matchup between the third and the 10th seed. And then I didn't watch this game, but I saw the results that USC ended up losing to Utah by 2 points. Utah ended up winning 34-32. I think USC has been on like a two-game losing streak recently. And they have obviously Caleb Williams, like the best like quarterback in college football right now. But yeah, they just ended up losing to Notre Dame and Utah. So they just played. Utah was the 13th seed, and Notre Dame was the 14th seed, which is kind of expected for them. You know what I mean? Like I guess you're gonna kind of lose to the higher ranked teams, but the next few aren't going to be just as easy. You know what I mean? So next they're playing California, which is an unranked team. They should beat them. Then they play Washington, which is the fifth ranked team, which is going to be hard. To play Oregon, eighth ranked, which is going to be hard. And then their last game of the season is against UCLA, who's currently ranked 23rd. So it's going to be tough for the USC Trojans to really kind of have a good run at the end of the season. But that's kind of how college football is you get like a bunch of free wins off of these dog shit teams, and they need to play real teams, and then you're like, oh, what the fuck. But yeah, just wanted to say that quickly, and then we'll get into NFL, which is actually a really good fucking weekend. Let's see, we have week 7. All right, so week 7, I had the Jags over the Saints. Let me move this over a little bit. The fuck? There we go. I had the Jags of the Saints. Jaguars beat the Saints 31-24. I only watched a little bit of this game because of the Thursday night game, and then I went to sleep because I had work early in the morning. So Jags beat the Saints 31-24. Falcons beat the Bucks 16-13. I had the Bucks here. Buccaneers just did not look that good. Raiders and Bears. Bears beat the Raiders 30-12. I did not expect that. I had Raiders there. So this week is not too hot so far. And again, Browns beat the Colts 39-38. I had the Colts. I thought the Colts were actually going to win because what's his face, Gardner Minshew was playing out of his mind, but he just wasn't having it. Giants beat the Commanders 14-7. I had the Commanders there, so that is another nasty loss for me. I am missing on this one this week. Lions and Ravens, I got that one right. Ravens beat the Lions 38-6, an absolute stomping. Bills Patriots. Patriots actually ended up beating the Bills 29-25 in some kind of crazy turn of events. So I had that one wrong as well. This week is tough for your boy. Seahawks and Cardinals. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 20-10. I had the Hawks there, so that one was pretty simple. Steelers and Rams. I actually picked the Rams, but the Steelers beat the Rams 24-17. So I'm getting kind of pooped on this week. Chiefs and Chargers. The Chiefs ended up beating the Chargers 31-17 with Taylor Swift in attendance. I went with the Chiefs. Packers and Broncos. The Broncos actually beat the Packers 19-17. In a kind of a little bit of a barn burner. I got the one wrong as well because I went with the Packers. Dolphins and Eagles. I actually went Dolphins here, but the Eagles beat the Dolphins 31-17 in Sunday Night Football. And then tonight we have the 49ers and Vikings in Minnesota. I'm still going with the 49ers here. But yeah, terrible week. I got what is it? Out of 13 games, I got 4 of them right so far. So really bad week on this one, guys. It's a forgettable week for me, but that's all good. We're gonna go on to predictions for week 8 of 18. Thursday night game is Bucks and Bills. Obviously, it's gonna be the Bills. They're gonna come back off of this loss and absolutely shit all over the Buccaneers. I spelled Bucks wrong. What do we have? Sorry about the sniffles. Jets and Giants, the old Subway showdown. I have no idea who wins this game. I'm going to go with Jets because I like green better than I like blue. Jags Steelers is an interesting game. I think the Jaguars are just a significantly better team. So I'm going to go with the Jags. Eagles Commanders is an interesting matchup, but I'm going to go with the Eagles since they just beat one of the best teams in football. Rams Cowboys should be a good matchup. Cowboys coming off the bye. Rams coming off of a loss to the Steelers. So, but this is in Dallas. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. They're rested up. What else do we have? Vikings Packers should be an interesting matchup. It's in at Lambeau Field. Packers need a big win here. I'm gonna go with the Pack. Falcons Titans. Falcons coming off a big win, and the Titans coming off of a bye. This is in Tennessee. Fuck. I'm gonna go Titans here. Falcons. Yeah, I'm gonna go Titans. I think Derrick Henry pulls it together. Patriots Dolphins is a big fucking matchup for the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off of a loss. Patriots coming off a huge win against the Bills. Dolphins win though, and it's in Miami. Dolphins win. Saints Colts is a good matchup because the Saints need to win. The Colts need to win. It's in Indianapolis. I do like the Saints better than the Colts, but the Colts were just playing really well. I'm gonna go Colts. Texans Panthers. Both of these teams coming off a bye as well. Both of these teams kind of bad, but I think the Texans within recent form is doing better. I'm going to go Texans. Browns Seahawks. Interesting because the Browns just won and the Seahawks just won, but I think the Seahawks are a better team and they're playing in Seattle. I'm going Seahawks. Bengals Niners is a good game. Bengals really need to win. 49ers are kind of banged up. We'll see how the 49ers look tonight, but without any previous gameplay, I'm going to go Niners. Chiefs Broncos, both teams coming off a win. But obviously I have to go Chiefs here, even though they're playing in Denver. Ravens Cardinals is probably going to be a snoozer. I think we just go Ravens here. Bears Chargers is actually a pretty good game. Chargers coming off of a loss. Bears coming off of a fat win. I don't think they repeat that. So I'm going Chargers because they need to win. They're playing at SoFi. And then the Monday night game is Raiders Lions, which should be a good matchup if the Raiders are healthy here. But it's in Detroit, so I'm going to go Lions. So my picks for week 8 are going to be Bills, Jets, Jags, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Titans, Dolphins, Colts, Texans, Seahawks, 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens, Chargers, and the Lions. Oh, excuse me, I had to grab some water there. So those would be my picks last week, or this past week. Really got crapped on. The week before that, I was doing really good. I only got 3 or 4 wrong. I forgot to include from week 6 was the Cowboys Chargers game, so I got that one right. Okay, so week 6, I only got 4 wrong out of all the games that were played. So I was on a roll from week 5 to week 6, but then week 7 hit and I just absolutely shit the bed. So hopefully picking it back up here week 8, but we will see. Um, so we are done with the NFL portion. I do want to talk about League of Legends, but I'm going to go into NHL really quickly. The Bruins still undefeated. They just played the Anaheim Ducks last night, won 3-1. Bruins still on their road tour. In terms of good games, last night there was the Red Wings versus Calgary. There's only 2 games last night, 1 game tonight, Sabres Canadiens, so it's whatever. Let's look into the future for tomorrow's games. You have a Tampa Bay Lightning Hurricane game at 7 p.m. Eastern in Tampa. That's going to be a good game. Devils Canadiens 7:15. Stars Penguins 7:30. Those are good games. Bruins Blackhawks. What's another good matchup? Coyotes and Kings. So I think the best games for tomorrow would be the Lightning versus the Hurricanes and the Stars versus the Penguins. Those would be the closest games and the most entertaining, high quality games. Everything else can be a little iffy. The Bruins Blackhawks matchups should be good because the Bruins just beat the Blackhawks and the Blackhawks are a young team, so they're probably going to try and pull off a heavy win. I would not be surprised if the Bruins lose that game, but take a look at the Bruins in general because they're my team. Bruins so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5-0 currently with wins over Anaheim, Las Vegas, San Jose, Nashville, and Chicago Blackhawks. So their next game is going to be tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Then they're playing Anaheim at home. Then they're playing Detroit at home. Then they're playing the Florida Panthers at home. Then they're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs at home before they go back on the road. So some tough competition here, but the Bruins are looking really, really good, so I'm excited for the season. Last year, they were obviously the best team in the regular season, but they ended up falling really short in the playoffs. So it is tough, but kind of put that behind us. Still, team looking really good. Pastrnak looking really good. Brad Marchand looking really good. Everyone looking really good. So I'm excited for the year. I'm not expecting it to be the same regular season that they had last year, where they ended up having the best regular season record in history of hockey. But well, I'll take a nice playoff run and maybe a cup visit. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be that for the NHL. NBA starts tomorrow with some cool opening night games with Lakers Nuggets 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Suns Warriors 10 p.m. Eastern. Celtics opening game is on Wednesday the 25th against the New York Knicks at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm excited for that. We'll get into basketball once it starts. And then obviously I want to talk quickly on League of Legends. Worlds is going down. And it is getting spicy. So games that just happened this morning. Excuse me, sorry about the sniffles. Games that just happened this morning were GAM Esports beating TL 2-1. So Team Liquid is knocked out, and Damwon Kia beating BDS 2-0. So BDS is out. Those are the first two teams that are out of contention, 15th and 16th place respectively for Worlds this year. Games coming up are pretty exciting. So you got a best of series break first, but a best of series starting on Thursday at 3 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Eastern. First one is C9 Fnatic. I don't really know how that goes. I think C9 wins that, so that's what I'm going to pick. And then Mad versus Weibo Gaming. I think Weibo absolutely craps all over them. So those are going to be my predictions. So for the first two games of round 4, C9 over Fnatic. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. My goodness. All right, so C9 over Fnatic, and then Mad Lions, or sorry, Weibo Gaming over Mad Lions, and then Friday you have Damwon Kia versus GAM Esports. Obviously Damwon over GAM, and then okay, hold on. Jesus. I'm trying not to sneeze directly in the mic, so sorry about that. Also, Damwon Kia versus GAM Esports. Damwon obviously craps all over them. And then KT Rolster against LNG. I think that's going to be a little bit of a closer matchup. I do think that KT kind of pulls that one together just based off of recent form for LNG. I mean, they are coming off of a 2-1 loss to JDG, but JDG is a significantly better team than KT right now. But, it is what it is. And then Saturday you have NRG versus G2 and T1 versus BLG. The T1 BLG series is super hype, but not so much on the NRG G2 series. I think G2 absolutely craps over NRG. I think the T1 BLG series is a lot closer than people are going to think, but I think BLG wins. So for round 4, I'm going C9 over Fnatic, Weibo over Mad Lions, Dawan over GAM Esports, KT over LNG, G2 over NRG, and BLG over T1. And then next round starts Sunday, October 29th. And then we have quarterfinals and stuff like that. So this world is ended up pretty cool. I do like the format. Some people are not so hyped on the format, but I'm enjoying it. It's just more games for me to watch, more highlights I need to watch. So I'll be doing that probably at work today while I'm doing some video editing. I gotta watch football highlights and I have to watch some League of Legends highlights. So I'll probably be doing that this week, and I'll also be catching up on some stuff this week as well. But coming towards the end here, I'll be talking about Worlds again. So catch me next Monday talking about Worlds. We'll have a lot more to talk about with a lot more games coming up. Because we'll have round 4 and round 5 already done. And then I want to talk about IEM Sydney. FaZe Clan ended up beating Complexity Gaming and IEM Sydney. I think they 2-1 them. Was that the result? Yeah, they won 2-1 in the grand final. Complexity took the first map, which was Overpass, and then FaZe proceeded to beat them in Nuke and Ancient, and then Ancient was it went into overtime. So if you're gonna go back and watch the highlights of that, definitely watch the last map because that one was pretty fucking hype. It looks like for it to go into overtime because it would have been pretty split. They just needed to win at the end to win that. So I think I might watch the highlights of that later today at some point because it's probably a dope fucking matchup. But yeah, IEM Sydney was pretty good because that was the first CS2 LAN event, so that was pretty dope. I think the next big event, I don't even know what the next big event is. What leads into this is what's next? Blast World Final, which I think Blast is the next big thing, which is in Abu Dhabi at the Etihad Arena. That's in December, so I'm not really sure what's going to be happening for fall final. When is the fall final? Oh, okay, this is probably next. So the Blast Fall Final is probably next, which is November 22nd through November 26th. That's probably the next big event with some really good teams here. Obviously, FaZe, Vitality, Complexity, Cloud9, and Astralis, and then some other teams which I don't really care about. But this is gonna be a good fucking good tournament as well. So anything that comes up CS:GO or CS2 wise, I will let you guys know. And then really quickly on anime and manga, I did watch the first few episodes of The Rising of Shield Hero season 3. The animation is absolutely phenomenal. I was watching the first episode and I was like confused because like what's going on? I don't really remember any of this. And then I realized I don't remember any of it because I hadn't read that far in the manga yet. So I was like, what's going on? Like, what am I like missing? I wasn't missing anything. I just forgotten because it had been so long, but it looks really good. I'm excited to see what happens. So definitely recommend this. I don't know how it already has a rating of 7.7 when there's only a few episodes out, but whatever, it is what it is. Definitely check that one out. And then for manga, I found this new series. It was about fencing. I wonder if I can find the name of it. It was in. So basically, the series follows the main character who's a competitive fighting game player, and then he what was it called? 1F something. 1F. Damn. But then he ends up kind of like getting convinced to join a fencing team when he joins high school, and it's just kind of interesting because he uses his like fighting game like split time reaction to like be a fencer. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's a little different. It's like a sports series that has a little bit of a different spin on it. The um what do you call that? The art style is actually pretty good. It's not something I would say is like phenomenal by any means, but it is definitely pretty the fuck pretty stylized, which I like. It's not like super generic. It's a pretty good style, so definitely going to be. Can I find my? No, where's the? I want to find the history of it, but maybe I need to find it down here and just scroll through all this random trash that I'm following. I would so far give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's nothing insane, but the series itself is like kind of interesting, kind of a different take on sports manga. But damn, what is it called? I need to find it. I think it was on this top banner, like the top week banner, but I can't fucking find it now. Um, Damn, this just brought this episode to a screeching fucking halt. All right, well, if I can't find it, I'll have to find it for the next time. But it was pretty decent. You know, nothing crazy, like nothing that we're gonna miss. But that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Trying to be as consistent as possible. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything helps. We appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me know you guys are listening. So if you can share it on social media. If you're listening on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys like or don't like. This has been episode 50. I'll catch you guys next week, and peace.